Overwatch 2 will not have an MMR reset.
You serious?
Yup, I'm serious. I had the same reaction too. Is Blizzard out of their minds with this decision? This is possibly one of the worst decisions that they could make going into a new game, or as they want to market it as. Now, for context purposes, there was an AMA that was held on Reddit Games, and one of the questions that was asked to the Overwatch development team was that if there would be an MMR reset for the accounts that play Overwatch right now. To which Scott Mercer responded by saying that there would not be an MMR reset, and rather they're just going to bring back the old decay system where if you haven't played the game, well, your matchmaking rating, your skill rating, or whatever, it would deteriorate over time. So it would just decay over time, right? Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to kind of discuss the pros and cons of this, but I personally think the cons of this outweigh the pros way too much, and that they should reconsider this decision and give us an MMR reset. First of all, the topic that I want to address is the concept of Overwatch 2. Isn't this game being marketed as a new game? When you go into a new game, the whole point is that you get to start out fresh. Now, I know we are carrying over our skins, our player levels to some extent, and all sorts of other things from Overwatch 1, but one of the biggest progression for a player in Overwatch is the fact that it's their rank, right? That's like one of their ways to know, have I improved as a player or have I not? Let's just say this is the end of 6v6 Overwatch, which, despite all the fundamental changes we've gotten with hero limits to role queue and all that stuff, the one thing that has remained the same, it was the core aspect of the game. It was 6v6. But we're not 6v6 anymore because 5v5 is Overwatch 2. Even though we all know Overwatch 2 is the PvE and 5v5 is just a big balance patch update because, they couldn't find a way to balance tanks properly. Regardless, they still want they still are currently pushing for this idea that no, Overwatch 2 5v5 is Overwatch 2. Like, it's the new thing, right? So if it is the new thing, then why should anybody carry over their 6v6 stats into 5v5? Now, for context purposes, again, I've already reached top 500 on all three roles, right? On DPS, tank, and support. Anybody that kind of follows my channel, they know that. They've seen it in the guide videos. I talk about it here and there that, I've kind of gotten bored of ranked because there's no reason for me to climb anymore because 6v6 is coming to an end. But, like, what is the point of this? Why are you saying that no, your 6v6 stats, they matter in 5v5 when you have fundamentally reworked the complete foundation of the game? Having only one tank makes a huge difference, right? Somebody that might have been bad in Overwatch 6v6 may actually be good in 5v5, but they won't be judged fairly by the matchmaking system because, well, you're just going to stay in the previous rank that you were in, and if you're good, well, you'll climb out, and if you're bad, well, then good luck throwing over 100 plus games and dropping into your actual rank. There's so many issues with this mindset that Blizzard has like kind of gone with, right? The next issue that I have with this is, what about the reworked heroes? Or what about the heroes that have completely moved from one role to another? The one that I'm most fearful about is for us Doomfist mains out there. Now, I also play Doomfist at a high level. Since I've gotten my accounts up there, I flex to Doomfist here and there. I have a Doomfist one-trick account. So if I have a Doomfist one-trick account that's in GM, right, that's in 4.1, what happens to it? I never placed on tank on that account. Does that mean that that account just gets placed in plat, gets placed in gold? Why? I've already gotten to GM with that hero, and I only exclusively play that hero on that account. But because they just decide to completely change the role, I suffer for no reason. It makes no sense. Alternatively, there's also characters like Orisa. Orisa has completely become a new character. Now, let's say you are a tank player, right? And you are someone who played like a lot of double shield and, boosted your SR all the way up to GM or top 500, right? Which is very easy to do given Orisa has been like a hard stay in the meta for the past 50 years. Great job on the balancing, Blizzard. So, if that's the case, and now you're playing Overwatch 2, and Orisa is a completely new hero, and that's the only tank that you're familiar with, aren't you going to be soft throwing a lot of games? And is it not your fault? Like, it's not your fault that, your hero got completely changed and everything. And it's also not your fault that you'll be like soft throwing games. You know, I understand in this point in time, everybody should be flexible and be playing at least 4 to 5 heroes in the current state of Overwatch, right? The game has become very rock, papers, and scissors, but it's still extremely unfair towards the player because, like, they're not being judged in a fair light under 5v5. Now, their point and argument is that, well, look at it from this perspective. The games will be all over the place, right? Like, there are some people, like, that's what the Scott Mercer said, some people out there saying that, well, the lobbies will be a mess and it'll just be a rolled or get rolled, right? May I just remind everyone, in 2016 Overwatch, one of the biggest factors that made this game appealing to a lot of people was that it was a random, wacky experience that everybody enjoyed to play. And wouldn't that technically capture that feeling again? Because everything would just be kind of all over the place until it settles down, until it comes down to a position where everybody's where they belong, and then they move on. And on that same point, I want to say this. Anybody who's good at Overwatch now, they will climb to their accordingly corresponding rank in the matter of like maybe 10, 20 games. But if somebody is in the wrong rank, it might take them like maybe over 100 games, because just think about it, right? There's definitely going to be people in a rank where they belong, and they'll be hard carrying some people that don't belong there. There might be a support player who got boosted who's probably going to like soft throw a lot of games, but they may just barely drop in rank because their duo is really, really good at DPS, right? You might have a tank player who's like soft throwing games, but they're getting carried by the support and the DPS on the team. So isn't this going to ruin the game for the longer term rather than the shorter term? Because the game is just going to be all over the place for even longer. Like, I would rather take the first week or two where the game is like all over the place rather than take the first 3 months where the competitive experience is just a coin toss on, well, okay, they actually have a good tank and DPS player, and we have a Doomfist who's now in tank, and the guy can't play anything else, and Doomfist has been so drastically changed, and the guy's just confused. So we've already lost this game at the hero select screen. I really, really wish Blizzard reconsider this approach, right? And another reason why they might be doing something like this is that Blizzard is genuinely scared that when the new players come in, like obviously because of free to play, they're not going to have a fun time in ranked. I'm going to be very brutally honest about this. If they are a new player and you are scared that their experience would get ruined because they can't access rank right away, right? Increase the barrier of entry to rank. That's also a way to deal with smurfs and people that cheat and all that type of stuff, because you've made it harder to get into ranked itself. And not only that, I don't think level 25 or whatever the case might be nowadays is an appropriate level to go into ranked with. I think you should at least be level 50 or even level 100, like get your first star, have a lot of hours into Overwatch, learn the game a little bit, get your WOD reviewed by other people, or me, I do that, and then go into the game. And it just doesn't make sense. Like, I can't see any pros to this. It really just is that, oh, we don't want the new players getting rolled, because like maybe people in like bronze or silver will be rolling these new bronze and silvers. And even then, it's so mind-boggling. Like, it's okay for everybody to start off fresh. This is apparently a new game, right? Like, is this not a new game, Blizzard? You've done your level best to market it as a new game. You've done your level best to tell us that no, 5v5 is Overwatch 2. It's not a balance match. It's not this. It's not that. It is Overwatch 2. It's a part of Overwatch 2. So if it is a part of Overwatch 2, why don't we get to start fresh? Fine, we get to retain our skins, we get to retain our icons, we get to retain this, we get to retain that. But why are we retaining the rank? The game format is completely different. The game format is completely different, Blizzard. We're not in 6v6 anymore. We are in 5v5. There's only one tank. The tank role itself has been fundamentally changed as well. Existing tank players may not even perform at the level that they are currently at. They may underperform, and they would throw hundreds of games before they come down to where they belong. In my opinion, Blizzard needs to reconsider this decision. And I do want to hear what you guys think. Tell me in the comments, do you think this is good? Do you think this is bad? I really disagree with this. I wanted a reset. I wanted to start fresh. I wanted to see, hey, am I still a top 500 DPS in 5v5? Am I still a top 500 support in 5v5? Am I still a top 500 tank in 5v5? Do I deserve it? Have I earned it? If I don't get that feeling of, hey, I've earned it, then how can I say justifiably that, yes, I deserve to be in my rank? How is this fair? I just don't understand. And doesn't that make our ranked experience one of the worst in games out there? Because like we're just kind of, like, I sort of see this as a way that they're spoon feeding players as well. That, oh, don't worry about it, because like we'll just keep you wherever you are. So don't worry about it. And yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. Like, I think what I wanted most in Overwatch 2 was for the feeling of ranked to matter again, because ranked has not mattered in Overwatch for the past like maybe 2+ years, right? And this is yet another one of those ways to make ranked just not matter. This is such a casual approach to ranked when we should have a competitive approach to ranked, and we should encourage the idea of people being competitive. And that means that people should be okay with getting rolled. People should be okay with doing the rolling. People should be okay with messy games as long as they have that end goal inside, that yes, it's okay. I lost today, I won today, but tomorrow I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna go bigger. That should be the end goal in mind. And I just don't see how this encourages that mindset for competitive at all. But do let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Liking and subscribing are free ways to support this channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.